Oh, getting there though, I guess, right? Kicking siblings in the gut. Okay, here we go. Bell ringer for today. Review from Friday. Or no, sorry, yesterday. Yeah, it was you. Who are you with? Oh, who's that? Jordan who? Who is it? Who is it? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I was pumping gas. I was on the phone. I couldn't see because of the sun. Okay, we talked about this yesterday. Well, I did yesterday on the recorded video. So hopefully you watched it. Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. So describe this. We'll go over it. We'll talk about it. And then I have some vocab terms for you today. And we're going to move on with the Sudetenland. Lebensraum, right? And then we'll talk about the Munich Pact a little bit. And then we'll finish that up for today. That'll be it. Okay. I'm thinking a test for Friday. Okay. I'm going to put that on the board now. Serene.
Yeah.
Also, the current event. Oh, watch your mouth.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't even want to hear your cursing pop.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
All right. So, Serene, how about this Friday you do it? It was a wacky week last week. I'll give you a break.
I'm good.
Not going to happen again, though.
No.
All right. So, we're going to say start of World War II test. Now, let's just call it a quiz. Friday. Let's try it to what? 26. Okay, so I know I posted a while ago that map. You guys remember the map? The map activity?
Yeah.
Yes. What's that? Yeah, you colored it. Yeah, you filled out the numbers for the countries. That will be on the test. Okay, I didn't forget about it. Plus, you had it for a long time. You should study it every single day, right? Yeah, when you have free time, whatever. Oh, you gotta look at that map. Gotta check it out. Get ready for this test here. So yeah, so that will be definitely on the test. So the map. So there's gonna be a section with the map, and then yep, that'll be it. And then we'll move on. We'll start a World War II quiz and finish that up, and we'll get into the actual battles. There we go. I'll give you a minute or two to finish up here. Uh-oh, helicopter. All right, so what is the Anschluss? What was that? We talked about that. Well, I did yesterday on the recorded video. What do you got, Kiara?
It was the German annexation of Austria.
Good job. Good job of Austria. Good, good. So did Germany go in guns a-blazing, ripping apart Austria and taking it over? Did they do that? Lentz? No. Okay, why not? They weren't supposed to.
Well, they weren't allowed to.
Okay.
Treat the other side.
All right. All right. Okay. Troy, what do you think?
League of Nations to stop them.
Okay. All right. So maybe they were like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't just go in guns a-blazing and taking over Austria just because League of Nations will be angered by it. We might cause a huge uproar. We might cause this conflict. Okay. Serene?
There is no need for it. They rather assimilate by peace than violence.
Okay, yeah, good job, good job. Remember, Hitler, okay, yeah, he's going to try to really persuade the masses of his people, German people, and even at an international level that he can solve issues through peace, that he can, take some of these lands that were rightfully theirs without going in with the military strength and taking down his opposition. Right? So the Anschluss is really just him taking over Austria just by, we have the same culture, we speak the same language, very similar anyway. We were expanding in Austria because they were going through this depression yet, and they saw the German people, the German country doing and prospering very well. So if you're Austria at the end of World War I, you're going through this depression, you lost the war, okay? And all of a sudden, you see Germany rising as this world power once again with this strong military. What would you think as the Austrian people, the citizens? What do you think? What do you think, Kiara? Okay, yeah, it's like, yo, you see what they're doing over there across the border? It's pretty nice, right? We want to try to grab a little bit of that and apply it to our country. We want to see this prosperity. We want our people living this luxury style living. Okay, we want our people doing well and increase our standard of living, just like the German people are doing. So they see this and like, you know what? This is pretty cool. This is awesome. Maybe we should join and be a part of this. George? Are you good? Okay. All right. So yeah, this annexation of Austria at the end of World War I, it was really just Austria. They were going through some troubled times through this depression. They really weren't a prosperous nation at all. They saw a defeat. Like I said, they were living these kind of poor times and terrible times in their country, and they saw Germany rising as this world power. They just held the Olympics there, right? They hear all the good news coming from Germany, and they want a little bit of piece of that. Okay, and Hitler actually marched his troops, his military, through the streets of Austria in their major cities and trying to promote some sort of sense of nationalism, right? He's like, hey, this is what we got. This is the military we have. And this is our new country now out of the ashes once again through this depression at the end of World War I, right? And we were really prospering. And it was to a point the Austrian people, as Hitler was marching through the streets with his army, they're praising him. They're like, oh, yeah, this is great. They're very accepting of this nature and this, I guess you could say, this annexation. They wanted to be a part of it because they saw the prosperity that will follow. They saw the nationalism that they could really gain if they accepted Germany as their, I guess you could say, their leader, their power. Okay, and that's really how he expanded into Austria. That's how he took it over pretty easily without any type of confrontation. All right, yeah, I'm sure there's people and groups that weren't accepting of it, but for the most part, they wanted to see this prosperity leaking into their country of what Germany had and amassed over a short period of time since Hitler has been leader, the Fuhrer, right? Okay, so they wanted to be a part of that. They wanted to see this prosperity. And the best way to do it, let's march the military through the streets. Okay, let's show what kind of power we have once again. And people were praising it. And as Germany, their army was parading around their town centers, they loved it. Okay, they wanted it all be all about it. All right, so if you're France and Great Britain, okay, so talk with a partner here. Maybe write this down because you never know. This might be an opinionated question on a quiz here. If you're France and Great Britain, you see Hitler really rising to power here. You see the prosperity coming into the country, and now they just really take over Austria without any opposition, without even using a military front or any type of aggression. So if you're France and Great Britain, what are you thinking right now about Germany? So maybe write it down here in your notes. Write it down on a Google form here. What do you think Great Britain and France, the League of Nations, right? The Allied powers, what are they thinking about Germany's prosperity, their expansion now, even though they weren't allowed to do this, okay, at the end of World War I. The Treaty of Versailles forbid it. So write that down. Talk with a partner maybe. What do you think France and Great Britain are thinking about this? This annexation of Austria and this expansion of the military, the prosperity in Germany. They held the Olympic Games. They did very well in it. They won as a whole country the amount of medals. We talked about Jesse Owens though. He was a thorn in the side to Germany and Hitler, right? With winning 4 gold medals. But what do you think France and Great Britain are thinking about it? Jeffrey, write something down here, man. What do you think? Oh, you have it up in your head. Okay, you're gonna write it down then. Good. All right. I'll give you 2 minutes. How about that? 2 minutes. George, you too. Write this down, buddy. Okay, write this down. What do you think France and Great Britain are thinking about Germany, how they're becoming so dominant, powerful, right? And how they're just walking into lands and countries are just accepting their power. All right, so if you're France and Great Britain, what are you thinking about Germany and their expansion into Austria here and their power, right? And how they're becoming more of a stronger nation. What do you think? Griffin, what do you think, buddy? Okay, all right, good job. So you're saying, you know what? Maybe they might be a aggressive power once again. They're not following the Treaty of Versailles. They aren't following what's established here and set up. All right, good. Troy, what do you think?
Germany starting to rise in power.
Yep. What do you think France and Great Britain are thinking about this?
They're probably thinking
Yeah, it's another threat, right? It's like I can't believe it. It's almost like that one song "Everybody Talks," right? Everybody, here we go again. It's like, oh man, they are rising to power once again, and we're gonna have to make sure we can maybe stop them. It's gonna be hard to do because with the Treaty of Versailles, League of Nations, none of these countries were rebuilding their militaries except for Germany and Italy, and we talked about the Soviet Union and Japan. But it just goes to show how weak the League of Nations really were. And did they have any type of footing to maybe stop their growth and stop their potential expansion? Train?
Um, no.
No, not at all. Not at all. So they're going to have to plan. Maybe we can reason with them. Maybe we can talk to them and make sure that they don't become aggressive again. Make sure that they don't try to take any more lands than what they intended or what we intended them to maybe take. So this is something that really alarmed them. They have no idea really what to trust with Hitler and how he's really ruling Germany. Okay, again, he's promising to the people that they're going to expand Germany and once again become a dominant power. Take the lands that they lost with the Treaty of Versailles. And here they already are. And Austria is just saying, yeah, come on in, take us over. We really need this sense of nationalism again. We want this prosperity. And France and Great Britain are kind of sitting back and, oh, well, we really can't stop them. Hopefully we can maybe appease them, which is going to be one of your terms for today. All right. So there you go. There you have it. So France and Great Britain are kind of sitting back and they're like, well, we don't know how to stop them. We have no military force to stop them. But maybe we can talk to them. Maybe we can discuss some sort of agreement with them. All right. So terms for today. All right, so Munich Pact and Munich Conference, they go along together, but I just wanted to put that on there just so that one was to get together to talk and discuss about it. Make sure you put in who was involved, who was actually there, because that's important, a key takeaway. And then Munich Pact, something that they discussed and went over. What was the agreement? All right, so you have appeasement, Sudetenland, Munich Conference, and a Munich Pact. There you go. There you have it. So I'll give you about 4 minutes to work on that, and we'll move on. George, you good with this? Okay. So just write them down on a form and look up the definition. We'll discuss it, go over it. So if there's something that you're missing, you can write that in. Oh, there's one more guy I need to add there. Neville Chamberlain. He's important with this appeasement talk here. All right, so make sure you put him on there yet. So Chamberlain. Neville Chamberlain. All right, so what do we have here? Appeasement. What does that mean? What is appeasement? Forney, what do you got? Yeah, what does that even mean though? Yeah. There you go. Good job. Good job. So satisfying, right? It's giving someone something for concession, I guess you could say. All right. So with appeasement, we're going to talk about that with the Sudetenland today and with this Munich Conference and Munich Pact. Okay. Neville Chamberlain's all about this. He's like, you know what? Hey, if you take this land, Hitler, okay, that's it. There's no more you can take. We'll give it to you. Okay. There won't be any war. There won't be any conflict. If we give this to you, the Sudetenland, right? And then this is a promise, though, on your end that you won't expand anymore. Hitler's like, yep, got it, no problem, we're all good. And that kind of goes along with what we're going to be discussing today. So appeasement is just really satisfying someone, giving someone concessions for in other words, for peace or to make sure that there's an agreement. Okay. So Sudetenland, what is that? What is Sudetenland? Go ahead, Griffin.
The historical German name for northern, southern, and western areas of former Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, good job. So this is like the western portion of Czechoslovakia, and this is sharing a border with Germany, right? And these people speak German. They have a similar culture as the German people and citizens. So the Sudetenland was a land that was once occupied by Germany. And they thought, well, because of Lebensraum, right, spreading our living space, and we're just going to claim the lands that we lost during World War I at the end of it. And these people want to be a part of Germany, for the most part. Not all of them, but for the most part, they saw the prosperity. They want to be a part of it. So Sudetenland is the western portion of Czechoslovakia. Okay, and that map, you can look and refer back to that to see where that's located. It's right next to the German border. Okay, and this is a land that Hitler wants, obviously. A lot of it because it has strong industrial gains. Okay, there's a lot of industrialization, of factories, businesses there. Why do you think Hitler wants the factories and the industries? Why do you think, Griffin? Yeah, for his military. So growth. Okay, so he can produce more products and goods for his people and expand his military. They speak the same language. They have the same culture. They belong to us. They belong to Germany, so they should claim that back. All right, Munich Conference. What do you got? Troy?
An agreement with Germany, the United Kingdom, the French Third Republic, that permitted the annexation of Sudetenland.
Yeah, good job. Good job. So the Munich Conference and the Munich Pact, they go along together. This was an agreement amongst Chamberlain, right? Neville Chamberlain of Great Britain. All right, Mussolini was involved. He was there from Italy. Hitler was there. And this was an agreement that Germany would claim the Sudetenland as long as Germany won't expand anywhere past that. So this is appeasement, right? So Great Britain saying, hey, we're going to give you this land as long as you don't expand, as long as you don't try to expand anymore. Okay, but you'll have it. There won't be war. Okay, but if you expand past this, and yeah, maybe there's going to be some war. There's going to be a conflict here. And Hitler's like, yep, no problem. That's the only land I wanted. The Sudetenland right there, that's all I wanted for us, and we're done expanding. Our Lebensraum is fulfilled. Do you think he was telling the truth there, Forney? No, not at all. Not at all. Okay, and he kind of duped him. He tricked the rest of the world. All right, Neville Chamberlain. Who do we have here? What do we got? Lentz, who is he?
British politician of the Conservative Party who served as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom in 1937 and 1940.
Yeah, good job. So he's like the Prime Minister of Great Britain. He's the one who's going to try to solve all the disputes with foreign diplomacy. All right, and especially here at the start of World War II, he was at a very, very stressful spot. Okay, he's really the final piece trying to hold things together to try to prevent warfare. We all know the League of Nations is weak. We all know that America is isolated. They're staying out of these affairs, and they're going through a Great Depression. So the whole world depends on Neville Chamberlain and Great Britain to try to prevent World War II from happening. So can you imagine all the stress and pressure he had on him, right? What do you think? What do you think, Serene? Would you want to be him at that moment, that time? I wouldn't, that's for sure. It'd be terrible. Oh, I don't even know what to say. How do you agree with him? How do you even talk with him? So he goes, you know what? We'll give you the Sudetenland. Just don't expand anymore, please. We have no ability to stop you. It's like Hitler knew that. Okay, Hitler knew that. So what's going to stop him? Nothing, really. Okay. So I'll show you a picture of Chamberlain here soon and kind of how he was duped in a way. He was made a fool of by Hitler. All right, so appeasement. All right, so that is granting concessions for potential enemies. All right, so maintaining peace. This was an idea for Chamberlain. It's like, you know what? We can maybe maintain peace if we grant concessions, if we give appeasement to Hitler and make sure that he won't expand anymore. To try to prevent another war from happening, we're just going to give him this land. All right, so why did the U.S. grant appeasement? So they're kind of still out of it. They're still isolated, but they're just like, you know what? Let it roll on. We're not going to get involved either. One of the major things, again, preventing future war. And America is really trying to prevent the Soviet Union from expanding. So at this time, the Soviet Union was still viewed as the biggest villain, the biggest enemy of the world. Why do you think? Why do you think? Jeffrey? Communism, yeah, exactly. This was going to break down capitalism and our free market if this spreads and takes over, if this continues to grow throughout the world. So the USSR actually was one of the portrayed biggest villains for the United States. They thought Hitler, he's doing an all right job over there. He's rebuilding Germany into this dominant, powerful country. Right? They didn't know his plan. They didn't know exactly what he was doing just yet. There was some hearsay of what he was doing with obviously Kristallnacht and pushing for this ethnic cleansing in a way. Right? There's hearsay talk of it, but we still thought the Soviet Union was our biggest enemy, our biggest problem to face. Okay, so that's kind of how this all occurred. That's kind of how Germany was granted these concessions given Austria and Czechoslovakia, well, the Sudetenland in Czechoslovakia. It was just given to him. There was no war. There was no repercussions for him expanding. Even though he overstepped the Treaty of Versailles, who was going to stop him? No one. Do you think he was paying back these reparations from the First World War? No, no way. So even France and Great Britain are like, Hitler's really not following anything that we established. Okay. All right, so maybe that was a clear giveaway. All right, and we talked about the Anschluss already. We talked about how that annexation of Austria occurred. So the Sudetenland, like I mentioned, was Western Czechoslovakia. Okay, this was a place where there was a lot of German culture and German-speaking people, and this was once a part of Germany before World War I. You got that, George? You writing this down, buddy? Okay, take a picture of the slide or something. Okay. All right, and this was something that Hitler wanted, Lebensraum, right? Living space. He wanted to expand this. And he promised to the people that he was going to claim back these lands that were taken away from him at the end of World War I. And he did it. And these people, a part of Western Czechoslovakia, were accepting of this for the most part. They thought, yeah, look at the power that Germany's becoming. Look at their industrial gains. Look at their prosperity. Look at the standard of living. Very similar to what Austria was going through. So these countries that were just developing and becoming at the end of World War I, they went through this depression. So you can see how all these countries were very accepting of Germany and the Nazi ideology at this time just because they saw the prosperous times that were occurring. Right? They wanted to be a part of this prosperity. Their people were dying. They didn't have food. They didn't have a way of life. They didn't have any type of work. Okay, they didn't have entertainment. Germany had all these things. So that's why the people wanted to be a part of it. And that's why these countries kind of adhere to what Germany wanted. All right, and we talked about Lebensraum already, the breathing room, the living space that Hitler wanted for his own people. To try to grow this, you need to expand. We need more resources, raw materials. Okay, we needed to try to expand the industrial power, right? That's what Hitler was saying. All right, so last thing, the Munich Conference. Here's a picture of Chamberlain up here. All right, he's holding this paper up. And I already talked about the Munich Agreement, the Munich Pact. This was how they appeased to Hitler. They gave the Sudetenland, western portion of Czechoslovakia, to Hitler. They said, hey, here you go, as long as you don't expand anymore. All right, if you do, there's going to be war. And Hitler's like, yep, that's fine. We're not going to have any type of war after this. We're all good to go. Okay, we just wanted this Sudetenland. That was it. Obviously, Hitler lied about it, but Chamberlain was duped. He was fooled. He came home to Great Britain. He's waving this paper in the air. Hitler signed this. He promised to me that he's not going to expand. All right, this is peace in our time. That was probably the biggest lie ever, I guess you could say. Holy cow. All right, so he came home to the Britain. He came home to Great Britain, to the British people, and said, this is it. Hitler signed it. We're good to go. There's no war. How great is this? And people actually cheered. They're like, you know what? We're gonna throw a parade. This shows that Chamberlain did a great job communicating with Hitler and to make sure that there's peace and that there won't be any type of war. So they're parading around town in France, in Great Britain. Yeah, Hitler's not going to expand anymore. We can't stop him. Hopefully he doesn't, but he gave us his word. He signed this paper that he won't expand, and that's what the Munich Pact was all about. Obviously, that doesn't hold on too long, right? He lied about it. Hitler signed it, and forget it. Forget it. So people are like, Chamberlain, what kind of leader was he? Right? Hitler, he kind of lied to us in a way. He promised us peace in our time, and World War II is about to start here soon, like you can see here at the end of the slide. 11 months later, after the Sudetenland, after the Munich Pact, World War II starts. So after this Munich Conference, after this Munich Pact, Great Britain and France allied with Poland. He said, all right, if Hitler's going to expand soon, it's going to be to Poland. So if they do expand, well, we're going to have to join in and fight. Okay, and that's where this war eventually will start. I think it's not funny, but just how Chamberlain's thrown this paper around. Peace in our time, everybody. This is great stuff. But obviously that doesn't happen. All right, is there any questions on that? You guys good with the appeasement, the Munich Pact, the Munich Conference, right? You guys good with the Sudetenland? We all understand where we're at here? Okay, this is the buildup, the starting of World War II, and this is really the expansion of Hitler. All right, so on Thursday, I'll have a review with you. Okay, I'll talk about some of this review of Hitler's foreign policy, and it's kind of like a game. You pick and choose these different types of objectives that are given, and whoever has the most points at the end wins. Okay. Actually, we might do that tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. All right, here's a picture too of the Munich Conference, the agreement here. So this is pretty neat. Here's Chamberlain over here, standing tall of Great Britain. It's like, oh yeah, we have peace in our time. You got that, George? You looking up here? Here's Chamberlain. Okay, here's Hitler in the middle, obviously. There's Mussolini of Italy, right? So they're the pretty big players in Europe at the time. And the Axis powers, they're allied together. They're great hands. And Hitler's kind of smirking. He's laughing. He's like, oh, they actually believe me that I'm not going to expand anymore. They think that me signing this paper is it's going to end here. Heck no, man. Heck no. All right, you guys good with that? Okay, good. Make sure you have that down. The Munich Agreement, Munich Pact, appeasement, Sudetenland. Important stuff. Okay. I had a video for you. How about I start the class off tomorrow with it before the bell rings? Is that a great idea? Okay. Kiara, is that cool with you? All right, cool.